Okay, right. So this is my third video in the series of jobs, and this video is about politicians. So yeah, I'm gonna try and stick to British politics for now, but I may stray into other areas as I talk. But yeah, if asked, I will do videos on other countries' politics and politicians. For example, I could do a Putin one, or an Obama one, or I could do a back in time one, or a forward in time one. It's all up to you. If you ask me in the comments, I'll do a quick video. So here we have this charming looking fella. He looks alright, doesn't he? But yeah, so this is Tony Blair. And this is where it's, obviously before Margaret Thatcher and John Major and all of them, Winston Churchill, all of them, crazy, absolutely crazy liars. But we'll start with Tony Blair, and yeah, this is who he is. Right, so Tony started in 1983, and that's a very interesting date. Not only is it my birthday, well, you'll see when we get to Gordon Brown, but yeah. So Tony won with a landslide, and yeah, if you look at it, in 1994, somehow he came to power after his predecessor died suddenly, which never bodes well, really, does it? Especially in politics. But we don't hear a lot about John Smith. But yeah, we do hear a lot about New Labour. But if you look into it, I think you'll start to find that Tony Blair did do some nice things. Minimum wage, freedom of information, human rights. Established some Scottish parliaments, some national Welsh assemblies, all sorts of stuff. All went on, and it was all good. Or at least we think it was all good until we reach the bottom of the page, and then we see the Good Friday Agreement, and we see war on terror. We see George Bush. And this is the moment when it all went wrong. Look at the look on his face. I don't think he even wants to do it, but he's doing it. He is doing it. Instead of standing up for us and peace and, not jumping on old George Bush's bandwagon. His weapon selling, oil gathering, his dad and, Prescott and just all how did this George W. Bush get into power? But anyway, we're talking about Tony Blair, and yeah, here he is, shaking hands with, I wouldn't say the devil, because this guy's too much of a muppet to be the devil, but a really nasty fella is old George W. Bush. Really nasty fella for what he done. So yeah, now we want your Tone. Now we want you behind bars. We want this scumbag in our worst prison ever. Horrible places like the Scrubs. Yeah, we want you in the Scrubs, Blair. Well, it looks like we had Cameron in there, but they let him go. But we all know the prison system's corrupt, but that's a conversation for another time, another video. And here we are, Gordon Brown. And we all know what Gordon Brown did, don't we? He started messing around with the money, giving power to banks and stuff like that. And that's not really within the interest of the people there, Gordon. But then we know that these people do not have our interests at heart. Or do we? do we? Who keeps on voting for these idiots? And when will these old fools die? Yes, it's the old people who keep on voting for it, because people after a certain generation just don't bother voting. It's all bloody nonsense. And we need to stop giving these people power. We need to stop encouraging these idiots like Gordon bloody Brown. I mean, this idiot is so easy just to smack him down. You know what I mean? It's like picking on a child, really. Like, just everything he did was wrong, and everything he did was for the rich and for someone else that wasn't us. So, you know, I mean, I'm not going to beat the dead donkey on this one. I'm not just going to keep, you know, kicking a guy who's down. But really, like, you know, I think he needs to be put somewhere. Like, maybe, I don't know, stick the scumbag in Winchester prison. Yeah, where there's deaths all the time, and it's just horrible, and, you know, just immoral and horrible. But yeah, Gordon, off to Winch with you. Right, now you reach the latest twat who thinks that he's in charge and keeps on ruining things for us. And that is old David Cameron. Don't you love to flop him, you know what I mean? I'd love to stick one on his jaw. Right there in the sweet spot. Snap that bone. And here he is. Don't you just want to smash him in the face for what he's doing? For how he's acting? You know? He's trying to shut the gates to the country. He's trying to take human rights out of the hands of people who give us real human rights and make this place into more of a BNP territory than anything. You know, oh, we got to get people out of our country. You know? When really, how do you own a country? You don't own a country. Nobody owns anything when it comes to land. And people need to start to realise that anyone who says they own it generally has stolen it. Stolen it off the free people, which we should be. But this guy's trying to, you know, he's trying to close the fist around you, British people. He's trying to take your human rights back into his hands, so they can decide what the law is and how people are treated and how they treat people. Do you really want this weird-looking Dinlo to be in charge of how you live your life? No. Then why do you keep voting for these people? If nobody votes, if absolutely nobody votes for these people, then they can't get into power. Yeah, don't vote for any of them. Burn down the House of Lords. Burn it all down. Let's jump on the Guy Fawkes train with this one. Let's stop these people from ruining our lives, from ruining everything, from ruining the world. Let's tear down these structures of nonsense and bollocks that try and say that they're about democracy, that try and say that they're about the vote, when really it doesn't matter if you vote or not. But if none of us vote, then we will see the nonsense. We will see if everybody turns around and says, well, I didn't vote. Then we'll know that it doesn't matter who you vote for. The same guy gets in. The same person gets in. Yes, every single time. Because no matter what you do, you're still going to be ruled by these people. By these Camerons, by these Blairs. And who do they work for? Who do they work for? Not a moral thing, not a good thing, not something that that you see on television like we all think. No, it is corrupt. It is about money. It is about slavery of the mind, of the workforce. They don't want to pay for these immigrants. They don't want to pay for these people. Do you know why? Because they want the money for themselves. Yeah. Why can't we look after people on welfare? Why do people who can't work have to work? Why do people who don't want to work have to work? There's plenty of people out there who want to work. Plenty of people out there who would love to work. But no, we can't give people £50 a week to eat. That's just stupidness. Absolutely daft. If you ask me, if you look after the people, they will want to work. You know, if you look, just look at other countries like Sweden. Look at good countries. But no, we're stuck thinking we're a good country, when really we're full of these wankers, these absolute wankers. If I saw David Cameron walking down the street, I would break his jaw, just out of principle. I don't care how old he is. Out of principle. And you should do the same. These people are not in charge of us. Come on. Come on. So what does it all come down to? Does it come down to, you know, oh, we need them. Oh, if they weren't there, the country would fall apart. Well, I don't know. Perhaps it would. Or perhaps if we got up off of our asses and stopped letting other people do stuff for us and stopped letting other people tell us what to do, like queens and kings and politicians and all these other people who are the same fucking thing, no matter what you dress it up as, they're the same thing. They're all trying to rule you, trying to take your money and say, this is what we're going to do with it. But we don't pay tax. we just pay them. We pay the Queen and we pay these politicians to live amazing lives while we live like shit and pay for it. Stop it. Stop giving these Denlos money. Your national insurance pays for the stuff that you need. The NHS. Let's pay more of that and less tax. Or no tax. How about that? Fuck tax. I said it. Not the first to say it, but I said it. If I could find a way not to pay it, to stop these people from stealing from me, I would. Oh yeah. And I'm not talking about things that help. Like road tax. Why is there road tax? Because you need roads to drive your bloody car on. I mean, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. You'll be pumping stuff out into the atmosphere. I mean, why aren't we using HHO gas for fueling our cars instead of this horrible oil? But once again, this is how these people get their money. They step on people who come up with ideas like this. Like, oh, we can run all our cars on water for cheap as chips. You know, look it up online. There's plenty of videos will show you that you can run your car off water very, very easily. It's called electrolysis. Look it up. But yeah, so we're stuck in a country full of smog and gunk and horrible crap with these people, you know, dictating to us. Like, oh, this is what we've decided for you. Like, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. It's the Eton crew. It's the Oxford crew. It's these rich dickheads who go out there and take control of the country. We need to stamp on these people. Yeah. We need to go up to these people and burn them out. Like they do to the foxes in their rich people hunts. You know? Chasing some poor thing down a hole with dogs and horses and guns. That's what they're doing to us. They're bringing superior technology and superior strength, and they're destroying us. We need to gather together against these people, against these police, against these armies, against all these politicians and their wanker power for who they're working for. We need to have a free world, a world of freedom, not a world of bondage and slavery.
Let's be honest, innit? You don't really want me to be honest, do you?
Yes, I do.
Well then, honestly speaking, I don't think I can honestly keep the peace while I'm incarcerated in this shithouse. Or any other shithouse. Contract or no contract. So there's no point in saying our will is there. How's that for honesty? See, you can't take it, can you? It's the same when I was at school. I said when I was bored, when I didn't want to do a lesson, when I wanted to have a fag, when I wanted to tell the teacher to fuck off for being a wanker, I'd kick him in the teeth. They couldn't take it. They didn't want me to be honest in that way. That's why you don't have lessons in honesty. 9 till 10:30 honesty. So they don't want the kids to say what they're really thinking and feeling inside their heads. They had lessons like that, they'd lose control. Wouldn't be able to smack you around the head when they feel like it. You just want me to be honest when you take me down the neck. Fair cop, girl. And when I fill out a form, be honest. Don't cheat. Don't carry a knife. Bend over, let me search you, make notes about you, keep files on you. If I'm honest, I've got nothing to worry about, have I? You're protecting me from the dishonest buggers, aren't you? But I can't look at the files. What's read out by the magistrate? What those fuckers said about me at school? What's on the police computer? It's all a lot of bollocks. We're not talking about honesty, we're talking about sticking to the rules. All those honest people out there are just sticking to the rules, but they lie and they fucking cheat all the way. and just think they're being honest because they swallowed the bollocks they've been handed. They've been conned. I've been conned. That's why you can stick your hairy contract up your hairy arse. It's a dishonest
You
con.
know what this part of the video is. So I stole your stuff. I'm not going to put any music in this particular video because the last video I put out was copyright infringed. So I don't want to risk it again until I realise or find out who are the ones that are the problem. I know Loud Records and Dead Prez have now been exposed because obviously if your message about freedom, it should be free to spread, but it isn't, is it? And I would just like to apologise to the people in Germany who will not be able to see my police lie video at all. So yes, thank you for watching, and I'm out.
Burn down the system, keep the fire burning. Teach the youth what them need to be learning. Don't know the government, see what them earning. Make your head start turning.